What is pippity popping YouTube? It's Sydney Island here. That's Island with the Y, not an S. So, as you can tell by the title, this is part 2 to what I've learned at age 23. If y'all haven't seen part 1, go ahead and watch that. That will be wherever I put it. That was a get ready with me. It was real short, but I'm going to go deeper into what I said in that video. I'm also going to add a few things that I've learned that I didn't mention in that video. Okay, so I wrote a whole list, y'all. That's how dedicated I am to educating y'all, okay? To educating y'all young folks, okay? I wrote a whole list. So let me jump right into it. So, number one, I put that age 23 was the age that I realized where I really needed to be in life and who I really was. And then I put not in college, wrong major, and wrong school. Okay, so what I mean by this is that I was at the wrong college with the wrong major. And I realized that at age 23. I had this conversation with my career advisor or major advisor or whatever. And she told me this is not the major for you. And it was just like a very eye-opening conversation for me. And it was unexpected, but at the same time, I felt that something wasn't right, you know. But I didn't think something wasn't right to the point where I needed to change my whole major. And it didn't really click or resonate with me until she actually said it out of her mouth. And she was like, I told her, I said, I don't know, like something's just not feeling right. I wasn't really doing good with my classes. My grades were slipping. And I told her something wasn't feeling right. And she was like, I just don't think this is the major for you. And I don't know, I can't remember every single thing because this was so many months ago. But I told her that I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't sure if this was the right major for me. And she was like, I've been waiting for you for like a whole year for you to come and tell me that this wasn't the major for you. I was thinking that this wasn't for you, but I just was waiting for you to come to that conclusion. And that was a shock to me. I didn't know that she felt that way. I thought that she was just trying to help me to get back on track with this major, but it turns out that she was feeling that I needed a different major. And this is huge for somebody who I wanted to be an elementary school teacher ever since I was 4 years old, okay? My whole life. So this was huge for me, like huge, because this was a major that I've had literally my whole life. To just get to a point where it just wasn't for me anymore after I literally thought this is what I wanted to do my whole life. It was such a huge turnaround for me, like unbelievable. And I realized I don't even want to do it. Like taking the classes, I didn't vibe with the classes. I didn't vibe with the professors. The major just wasn't it for me. I never felt that spark. I never felt like super excited to go to my major classes. I actually enjoyed my non-major classes more than my major classes, and that's saying a lot. Like if this is your true passion and your true major, you're supposed to really enjoy it, but I didn't. I didn't enjoy my major and I didn't enjoy my classes, and I felt that a lot of the activities that we did were stupid and pointless. Like, why are we? I know let me get into this real quick. Why are we in an education class? Supposed to be learning about children, but for some reason she's asking us what our favorite ice cream is. And the whole entire time, for like a good 30 minutes, we're all talking about our favorite ice cream. What does this have to do with teaching children? Like the school was lame, yo. Like Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, I don't like the state of Tennessee. I just it's okay. Like financially, it's helpful when you're poor, but like California, New York City, Washington D.C., all of them they real expensive. But Tennessee is a little bit on the cheaper side, especially the area that I live in, and so it's good for like wanting to raise your kids here and you want them to have a happy healthy suburban childhood, which I had a happy healthy suburban childhood. But also I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I was born in Baltimore City, so I always had that city girl energy in me, and I just felt like it's a whole thing. And like college, I just it wasn't it. Like it's a little country, the farm kids. It just wasn't it for me. And I'm glad that I learned at age 23 who I really was. And so I realized that I'm really meant to do this for a living. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about entertainment. I love entertaining people. I love it. And I think that I didn't know that because I'm kind of shy, but I'm busting out of my shell more and more and more. And that's also a thing I learned, that I'm not really as introverted as I thought I was. But we're going to talk about that later on. We're still talking about the career right now. I'm an artist. I realized that I'm an artist. And I was trying to incorporate art and creative writing and music into my major by changing and, adding a minor in art and stuff like that. And it just wasn't working because I had been in this major for years, and it's like you can't just add on a minor randomly and expect for it to all work out. It just wasn't working out. Everything just kind of led up to a point where I just couldn't be there anymore. And I felt that it was a sign because my friends had been already telling me, like, I don't think you should be here. Like, they was telling me, you need to take a semester off, and it's just like, when God speaks through people to you. And that's what God was doing. He had friends just kind of say, I don't know, I think you need to take some time off because it just never was feeling right. Like, from the minute I started the year at college to the minute I was moved into that dorm, like, it just didn't feel right. Like, why am I 23 years old still living in the dorms? Like, it just didn't feel right to me. Nothing really was adding up. I didn't have a exceptional college experience like I wanted to have. It just wasn't what I wanted. And this is growth for me to actually sit here and talk about this with y'all because I couldn't. Like, I wanted to so bad. I wanted to talk about college, but for a long time I just could not do it. Like, I wanted to make a video about it, but it was such a triggering topic for me, especially when I first took off that semester from college. I just felt like does this mean that I'm a loser? Does this mean that I have no purpose? Like, but I know deep down inside that, like, everything happens for a reason, and God has been telling me that I'm an artist. I need to be artistic. I don't need to major in something that is super academic. I need to just spread my wings, and the institution of college just, it just wasn't for me. And it's different if I had been an art major and I had went to an art school, then that would have been perfect. But that wasn't the case. I was shoving myself in a box. I was shoving myself in a major that just couldn't fit my big ass personality. It couldn't fit my big ass dreams, and it couldn't fit my big ass, vast, infinite talents. Okay? I said it. I freaking said it. Yes, I said it. I'm going to sound like a narcissist. I don't give a damn. I know I have a lot of talent, and I have too much talent as a singer. I sing so well. Why am I trying to teach children? I need to be standing in front of people singing. And I realized that, like, the jobs that I'm drawn to are always standing up in front of people, like, I don't know if it's my Venus and Gemini or what, but I love communication, and I just, like, Venus and Gemini people, they can stand up in front of large crowds, and it's natural for them. Geminis are just naturally very confident, and although I can be shy at times, I know that that's just like the old me, that's the childlike me. Like, I no, like, stop trying to be that child. Like, I kept trying to be this goody two shoes introvert that I used to be when I was a kid. And it's like, grow up, girl. You're not a child anymore. You're not really an introvert anymore. You're not really shy anymore. You've done some things, girl. You've done some things, and you growing up. Like, just stop trying to be that person. And I kept trying to be this goody two shoes, you know, this goody two shoes, like, sophisticated, introverted, like, I just kept trying to be something that I wasn't. So that's why I got this tattoo right here, because I just wanted something that represented the more edgier side of me, the more rebellious side of me. I have a very rebellious, wild side, and at age 23, I found this out. Like, I realized that I'm a wild child. I'm a very wild person. Even way back when I was, a teenager, I was trisexual. Okay, I was trying some things. I was kissing them girls. I was kissing them boys. I was trying some things. Okay, and I kept trying to put myself in this box and be like, no, like, I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to stay on track, y'all. So yeah, I put that I'm an artist, I'm into music, I'm an actress, YouTube, entertainment, millionaire. I feel that I'm destined to be a millionaire. Okay, and God just wants me to teach people in on a more broader scale. Like, I always felt that I was meant to be a teacher. God always sent me messages that I'm supposed to teach, but I realized that I wasn't supposed to teach children. I'm supposed to teach everybody. I'm supposed to teach adults, teenagers, elderly, children, babies, everybody. And I'm supposed to teach people of different races and sexual orientations. And I'm supposed to teach a lot more than just A, B, C, D, E, F, and 2 plus 2. I'm supposed to teach so much more than that because I have so much more depth to me and so much more knowledge. And I have a lot of spiritual knowledge and astrological knowledge, and I'm a very philosophical person, and I have musical knowledge, and there's just so much to me as an individual. And I felt that I always have been reducing myself down to less than I really was and less than I was capable of. And man, I'm feeling what I'm saying right now. Like, and I just I didn't believe in myself. You know, I didn't believe that I could really do all those things, and at age 23, I realized that I can, and I will. So yeah, a lot of confidence there. Okay, I put teacher with a twist. Yes, that's me. Teacher with a twist. I'm a whole nother woman, baby. Okay. And let's see. Number two, I met a super duper spiritual guy who is a good friend of mine now. He's also a Taurus like me, and he's taught me so much about spirituality. And he's the reason why I decided to become vegan 100%. He also has a YouTube channel. He's very small right now because he don't be uploading. I've been telling him you need to upload. He don't be uploading. But his YouTube channel name is Youthful Advisor. Go check him out. He's amazing. I love him, and we talk on the phone all the time. And he just helped me so much. Like, he was one of the people that pushed me to drop out of college. He told me, like, you're not happy here. Why are you here? You could do so much better. Like, there's some people who need college, and he was like, you're not one of them. Some people literally need college to make money. Some people need college to be successful, baby, but you're not one of them. You don't need college to make money. You don't need, matter of fact, if you let go of college, you'll make more money. Because I was going to go teach kids, and guess what? Teachers, they don't make that much money. And I'm meant to be a millionaire. I'm meant to be rich. I have rich girl mentality, okay? And although I could humbly accept such a position, such as teaching children and not making a lot of money, I can accept that and do that because I'm a hardworking person, and I'm just going to accept what I can get. But it's also like, you should do better. You should want more for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't just want to settle for a little job when you can do more. It's different if you didn't have the talents that you had. It's different if I didn't have all these talents and all I really could do was teach kids. Then heck yeah, stay in school. It would be ridiculous for me to drop out if I didn't have anything else to offer. But I have so much more to offer than just standing in front of kids teaching 2+2. And I encourage you who is watching this video, especially if you're a young adult and you're majoring in something that you don't want to major in, and you're only doing it because your parents are telling you to, I advise you to reevaluate your life and figure out what you want to do. This is your life. Your parents had their time. They had their time in college. They had their time to be in their early 20s and to figure things out for themselves. Now is your time to figure things out for yourself. You're your own whole adult, and you need your own space to figure yourself out without other people telling you what you should and shouldn't do. Okay? So, number three. This one is really deep. So, I'm into numerology, and I'm a life path number 5. And my sister, my younger sister, who is also into astrology and numerology like me, we have a lot in common, but we're also very different. We look alike, we talk alike. She's a Virgo, I'm a Taurus. We're very similar, but we're also very different, like I said. And she told me, like, we had this whole conversation like several months after I, took a break from school. And she said, I was telling her about just realizing my life path, and realizing what I was supposed to do, and realizing that I'm really supposed to be an entertainer for a living. And she said, and she pointed out that age 23, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 is my life path number. And she pointed out that was it. Like, I was like, you're right. Like, it clicked for me. It was like, I'm a life path number 5, and finally I'm at 2 plus 3. I'm at my, like, number 5. And that's when I realized who I was. And she said she noticed at age 23, all of a sudden I was putting up all my paintings and art on the wall, which I hadn't had, and I didn't even realize it. It just, like, I just wanted to put up art. Like, I just wanted things to be more me, like, I was making things more personalized in my room. And so I started painting. Like, you see this big old picture up here? I just paintings, like, I just put up all my art. Not the Rastafari one. I didn't paint that one. That's not, I didn't do that one. I'll show y'all in another video. But, like, I started putting up all my paintings on the wall, and she was like, I noticed that at age 23, you just started to be more artistic. You had all this art on the wall all of a sudden in your room, and you didn't. I just had, like, mediocre posters, but then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, like, I'm an artist. I be painting. I be doing all this stuff. Like, why am I not having this stuff expressed in my space? And so she was like, 2 plus 3 is 5, girl. You're life path number 5. Like, you're finally, like, realizing what your life purpose is. And so now I feel that I'm redirected where I'm supposed to be. And age 23 has just been a huge, like, climactic, is that the word? Climactic point in my life. It's just, I just literally learned who I really am and what I'm supposed to do. And it's just been incredible. It's just really been incredible. And she pointed out, because she, at age 21, she's a life path number 3. She said that age 21, 2 plus 1 is 3. That's when she realized what she was supposed to do in life. And so I'm like, girl, you onto something. You really onto something. So yeah, she's very smart, and she like made me realize that that's it. Like that's why all of a sudden I just wasn't vibing with my major. Like I hadn't been vibing with it for a long time anyways, but then it was kind of like I started to really realize it to a point where it was so obvious and so blatant and so painful that I couldn't ignore it. And that's what God will do. Like you'll be doing something, you know, just regularly, just doing something that doesn't really suit you. You'll just do it, but then God will make you realize how, like, God will make you not be able to do it anymore. Like, He'll make it so uncomfortable for you that you literally have to just stop doing it. And that's what happened for me. Okay, so number 4. This one's funny. I have been depriving myself of my needs, my sexual needs to be exact. I have been depriving myself of getting dick. I've been depriving myself of having sex. I've been depriving myself of exploring my sexuality. I'm bisexual, and I've been depriving myself of experiencing just women and men in the way that I need to. And it was because I went through a series of very uncomfortable sexual situations. And it wasn't me, like, man, it's really, I still don't even know how to describe the situations. I don't know what to call it, but it was like I felt sexually violated a few times in my life. And you know how girls do, we blame ourselves, and I still to this day blame myself for it, because it kind of is my fault that, and I'm not, I just, it's a really complicated thing to talk about. When I say it's my fault, I mean that it was my fault in the sense that I let guys in my space when they didn't deserve to be in my space. No girl deserves to be sexually assaulted or anything like that. And for any girl that feels that way, you do not deserve to be sexually violated. Like, if a guy does that to you, he's an a-hole, and that is not fair. You know, and I let guys into my space, and I was so confused about what I wanted. But like with that Aries Mars, I got a high sex drive. I have a high libido, okay? And I'm a Taurus too, you know. And so I like sex. I wanted sex. And I was a virgin at age 21. And I was just like, yo, like, why am I still a virgin? You know, like, this is not right. Like, I'm a pretty girl. I have a cool personality. Like, why am I still a virgin? And I felt like it was such a negative thing. And so I just lost my virginity at 21 to a guy that I really didn't know very well. And I kept just trying to be in sexual situations so that I could lose my virginity. And it was traumatic for me, because when you're a virgin and then you're exposing yourself to different sexual energy when you don't even really understand sex because you haven't had it yet. Yeah, that was it. That's it. I said it. That was it. I was exposed to too much sexual energy before I was really ready. And obviously you're a virgin because you're not ready to have sex. And like when you're that young and naive and you're just pressured by your generation, it's kind of like you just, not only was I pressured by my generation, but I was also pressured by my own sexual needs. Um, the video cuts off at 20 minutes and it extends to another one, so I'm going to end this at 20 minutes and then make a part 2, but I'm going to go ahead and continue. I didn't know who I was, and I didn't understand myself, and I didn't understand my needs. I just felt like I needed to just get dick. I need to get it, and then I exposed myself to too much sexual energy. I would just be in these sexual situations, and then I would get nervous and get scared because wasn't sure if I was ready, and I wasn't ready. But it was just really a tough time in my life. It was a really tough time in my life, and I want to make a whole video about it. But I think I'm just going to talk about it right here and now and say, wait, do not put yourself in sexual situations when you don't even know if that's what you want. And I opened myself up to all this sexual exposure, and I didn't. It's always tough to talk about this. It's tough to think about it. Like, it still stresses me out, you know. I haven't actually fully. That's the issue with this, is that I haven't actually fully developed an opinion about it because I don't like to think about it. But I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to go ahead and make a part 2, finishing everything that I'm saying. I gotta pee. So I'm going to end this video and make a part 2, and I'm going to explain in part 2 all of that stuff. So I'm going to take a break and think about what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go ahead and make a part 2 explaining pretty much what I'm trying to say. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. This was part 1. I hope that you liked it. This was part 1. Now, the things I learned at 23. Click one of these videos right here. Actually, click part 2. Duh.